Hi, hello. I am back here. I am filming in multiple spots because I don't have a set filming area, and I use that desk area when there's really good natural light, and there wasn't any, so I am back here. Also, I got my hair done and I love it so much. It's this really pretty shade of red, and you can't really see it in this light, but I will insert a picture here and here and somewhere else for you guys to see what it looks like because I love it so much. I'm so in love with my hair. But that is not what this video is about. This video is my October TBR to be read list, and I have chosen 9 books that I want to read in the month of October. Now, that is not saying that I will only read 9 books. I am probably going to read more than 9 books for the month of October, but these are some books that really caught my eye and they sounded really interesting when I read the summaries, so I decided to definitely have these books as a must read in October. A lot of these are coming out in October, so they're new releases, so I may have to wait a little bit to read them, but I don't care because their summaries were super interesting and I am willing to wait. So without further ado, let's get into this October to be read list, and I hope you guys enjoy my picks. So book number 1 that I decided to read in October is What If It's Us by Adam Silvera, and I mistakenly thought that this book actually came out in September. It does not. It comes out in October, so I was really upset when I learned that I had to wait a little bit longer, but it's coming out soon-ish, so I can wait. A very brief summary of this book is it is about these 2 boys, Ben and Arthur, and they have a very cute meet cute in a post office, and when they decide to go on a date, the date doesn't really work out, and I believe they have 3 first date attempts, and as the dates each just kind of fail, they have to decide if the universe is trying to pull them apart or keep them together. And that is all that I know about this book because I read a very brief summary and it sounds very cute and I really want to read it. I want to read it right now, but I can't. I have to wait. So it's fine. But the summary sounds super cute, and it sounds like the type of contemporary YA novel that I love. It really reminds me of Love, Simon, and I am obsessed with Love, Simon, so I need to read this right now. But again, I have to wait. It's okay. I'll just read Love, Simon and cry about Simon and Bram, because that's who I'm at. That's where I'm at as a person. I just cry about fictional characters. The second book that I decided to read in October is The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy by Mackenzie Lee, and this is the sequel to The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, also by Mackenzie Lee, and I absolutely loved The Gentleman's Guide, and I am obsessed with it, and I've read it at least 3 times. I'm sure other people have read it more, but I really love Gentleman's Guide, and this is about Monty's sister, and I am all about that. I need this book in my life right now, but again, I have to wait, and I'm fine with waiting because I have no doubts that this book is going to be just as amazing as Gentleman's Guide. I really have absolutely no idea what this book is about, but since I loved Gentleman's Guide so much, I am willing to go into this completely blind and just having a feeling I'm going to enjoy it. Does that make any sense? I have so much faith in Mackenzie Lee that she's going to make this book absolutely amazing, and I am very excited to read this. So, if you haven't read Gentleman's Guide, please go read it because it's amazing, and I'm sure you've heard about it on booktube because people love to talk about it because it's amazing, but this is the sequel, and if you have read Gentleman's Guide, read this when it comes out because I'm sure it's going to be awesome. The third book I decided to read in October is An Assassin's Guide to Love and Treason by Virginia Boaker. Becker. I'm really sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm very bad with names. But this takes place in Elizabethan times. I can English. I probably said that wrong. I'm sorry. And it is about a girl, woman, teenager. I'm not sure the social status of this time period, but she's called Lady Catherine in the summary. So I'm gonna assume she's a young adult slash woman slash young woman. I don't know. She's called Lady Catherine in the summary, so do with that what you will. And from the summary, we learn that Lady Catherine's father is an illegally practicing Catholic, which is treason in this time period slash book. And we also find out that he was involved in a plot to murder the Queen, and she decides to disguise herself as a boy and take it one step further and actually try to kill the Queen. That sounds amazing, and I need to read it right now. So again, I don't fully know what this book is about. I don't know if this is historical fiction or fantasy, or I don't know where this fits, but it sounds awesome and I want to read it. So if this summary interests you, check it out like I will, because that sounds awesome. The fourth book I picked for the month of October is Blanca and Roja by Anna Marie Michelmore. I hope I'm saying that right. And these two girls are sisters, and their family has this curse. And through either a fight or I'm not really sure how, one of them is a girl and the other turns into a swan. And two boys become involved, and their fates kind of become entwined. And that is all the summary really gives us. And I am very, very intrigued. It sort of reminds me of the Swan Lake Ballet, because in that story, Odette also becomes a swan, but it's different at the same time. But I don't mind. It sounds super interesting, and I am really, really excited to read it. The fifth book I picked is Star-Crossed by Pintip Dunn, and this is a very sci-fi type book. It is about Princess Vila, and she lives on a planet with no food, basically. And she becomes an Aegis. I hope that's how you say that, but I could be wrong. And when she becomes an Aegis, she loses 60 years of her life, but she is able to feed people with nutrition pills. And she learns that her father is dying, and the boy that she has a crush on volunteers to save him, basically. And she learns through that the people of the planet need more than just nutrition pills to survive, which I'm very curious about. I really want to know what else they need to survive. The summary doesn't really give us much details, but it sounds interesting. Apparently there is a conflict between the Aegis and the colony slash planet, so I don't fully know what the conflict's about, but I hope it's interesting. I'm really intrigued as to how she loses those 60 years of life, and is the 60 years of life what is put in the nutrition pills? Again, I really don't know. The book summary really doesn't say, but it sounds super interesting, and I need my answers, so I guess I'm gonna have to read it to find out. The sixth book I picked for October is The Brilliant Death by Amy Rose Capetta, and This one I am very excited for because it combines the mafia and magic. And I really, really, really love mafia type stories. They've always fascinated me. So when I heard this involving mafia, I was automatically down. The main character is Teodora DeSangro. DeSangro. I'm saying that wrong. I apologize. And she is a mafia don's daughter, and her whole life she has been able to turn her father's enemies into music boxes, mirrors, magical items like that. And she has been able to do that because she is a strega, or a magic user. And the people of this world kind of, they don't believe stregas are real. They think they're like fantasy story type things. Basically, the world around her doesn't think that she's real. And when somebody sends out 5 poisoned letters to the family heads, 4 of them die, and her father is gravely ill. So she must travel to the city disguised as a boy to try and save him. And along the way, she meets someone called Cielo. That sounds right. If it's not, I'm sorry. And she develops feelings for them, and she kind of realizes that there's a bigger plot going on. And I am so excited to read this, but sadly, I have to wait until October 30th, so this is pretty much like right at the end of October. But I don't care. I'm including it because it still is technically in October. But I'm probably not going to be able to read it until November. I don't care. I'm super interested. I really, 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 really hope this is part of a series because I really want to see more books where the mafia and magic are involved. And again, the plot of this just sounds super intriguing. The 7th book I picked for the month of October is The Light Between Worlds by Laura E. Weymouth. And this book is about 2 sisters, Evelyn and Philippa Hapwell, and when they are hiding in a bomb shelter in London from airstrikes, they are transported to another realm called the Woodland. And when they come back, the world is the same, but they are different. I'm not sure how long they were in this realm. It's not really specified. But Philippa kind of tries to go about her day and forget the memories, and she moves to America. And Evelyn really, really, really wants to go back. And when Evelyn disappears, Philippa has to figure out what happened to her. And this sounds really interesting. It has Chronicles of Narnia vibes, just a little bit, not a lot, but I really want to know what happens to Evelyn. I really, really, really hope that she got back to the Woodland, but the summary makes it sound like she either did or she maybe got hurt or even died trying to get there, and Philippa has to figure it out. And wow, that would be really, really sad if she died. But I haven't read the book yet, and I'm super interested in it. I really want to know what happens to these 2. I really hope Evelyn gets a way back there because she really wanted to get there, but we shall see in the book. Fingers crossed she makes it though. The 8th book I picked for the month of October is Salt for Air by M.C. Frank, and the summary of this book described it as Greek mythology meets Little Mermaid, which instantly intrigued me. But the summary also sounds super cool. It's about 17-year-old Ellie, and she loves mermaids. And one day she is being attacked by some bullies at her school, and they try to drown her. And she is saved by a merman. And I'm assuming the very next day, or maybe a few days later, I forget what the summary says now, a boy comes to the school and he looks just like the merman that saved her. And she has to figure out if he is telling the truth about being a merman who was exiled from his kingdom, and then she also has to figure out if there is a sinister plot going on in the waters around the kingdom. It's not really clarified what that plot is, but I'm assuming it has to do with probably taking over that kingdom. Again, I don't know. It sounds super interesting, and I love The Little Mermaid. I can't wait to read it. The 9th and final book I picked for the month of October is Song of the Dryad by The 9th and final book I picked for the month of October is Song of the Dryad by Natalia Lee, and this book is about 17-year-old Charlotte Barkley. I think that's right. And she is haunted after an attack from a fairy that happened, I believe the summary said 8 years ago. I could be wrong though. And she has gone about her life trying to forget that attack, forget that fairies are real, and get through high school. And one day her mom is kidnapped by fairies and she has to go to the fairy realm, and she discovers that she is a shrine keeper, and shrine keepers are tasked with maintaining fairy realm shrines, and Charlotte's family has failed to do their duty, basically. And since Charlotte's family, to save her mom, Charlotte has to strike a deal with the Dryad, and the Dryad gives her a month to find 5 stolen fairy stones and return them to a shrine. And if she doesn't get those 5 stones and complete the task, the Dryad will take another one of Charlotte's loved ones. So Charlotte basically has to go into the fairy realm and confront creatures that she thought were only in books, and I believe also the fairy that attacked her when she was younger. So this is very, very interesting, and I really like the summary of this. It sounds super good and definitely fantasy based, but I'm all for it. It sounds really interesting, and I'm so excited to read it. Again, I'm excited to read all of these books, which is a good thing because I want to read them in October. So that is the last book on my October TBR list, and I am so excited to read all of these. They all sound super interesting, and they're all pretty much new releases, so I'm so excited to read these, you guys. And as I stated in the beginning of this video, I am holding myself to reading at least these 9 books. And if I read more than 9, that's awesome, but I for sure want to try and read at least these 9 books. So fingers crossed I get through all of these books. I have a feeling I will because I'm a pretty fast reader, but we shall see. A lot can happen in a month. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. I have all of my social media down there if you want to give that a look, and let me know what books you chose for October. I would love to hear about them. And as always, please subscribe. It really helps me out. And I will see you guys here soon with a new video. Bye!